Okay, so what we have here is a instrument cluster from a 2000 F150, and these clusters were used for quite a few years in Ford trucks. And the problem is that the odometer, after it's been running for a while, after the truck's been running for a while, the odometer will dim out and sometimes just go out completely. And what I did here is I already took the instrument cluster apart. You can see this here is the back cover for it. Move the camera up here. There's a bunch of screws that hold that back cover on. Take those out, and after you do that, you can carefully pry this back. Pry the circuit board back. You won't have to disconnect any gauges or anything like with the Chevy truck, because all these prongs, they just go right through the leads. And once you get it back, this here is your odometer feed, your readout feed, this ribbon thing here, the ribbon going to the odometer readout, and it's soldered onto the circuit board right here. And where you really want to pay close attention is the solder joint right here. This is the one that will crack, and if you take a magnifying glass, I don't know if you'll be able to see it here or not, see the crack. It's kind of hard to get the lighting right when you're working with a magnifying glass, but if you take your magnifying glass and you look at that solder joint, and you'll see that right around where the lead sticks through the circuit board, there will be like a circular crack around that solder joint, and that it'll be okay when it's cold, but once it starts to heat up a little bit, it tends to lose contact. I noticed on this one too that the solder joint at the other end here too seems to be cracked just a little bit. So all you gotta do is just take your soldering iron, a little bit of really fine solder here, like this is like 32 thousandths solder, and all you do is just heat her up a little bit, put a little drop of solder on there, clean it up if you can, or use a little flux to clean up that joint, and just solder that back together. And maybe test the other ones too. If you see any cracks on any of these other ones, maybe just solder them up too. But it's generally the one right at the end here that'll break. You solder that up, and your odometer will work again just like new. This has been covered in quite a few forums and other stuff. I wasn't able to find any videos of this, and I'm going to post this on Shopkey too, and I'll try to take a picture here of the cracked solder joint. But there's your problem with if you've got an odometer readout that kind of comes and goes or fades away, or sometimes it'll burn bright when you first start the vehicle, and then once she warms up a little bit, it goes, you'll notice the odometer dimming out or just going out completely till the next time you start, the truck cools down, and next time you start it up again. So again, it's just it's fairly easy repair. It takes you probably more time to get the instrument cluster out of the truck, because there's quite a few screws that hold that in there. And when you do take it out, you do got to watch out for your prindle. There'll be two plastic clips or two black plastic tabs that you just squeeze together, and you can leave the prindle right in the vehicle. You don't have to disconnect it from the steering column. Just pull it right out of the cluster and leave it lay there till you're ready to reinstall the cluster, and it'll slide right back in there. You don't want to start yanking on it, because you can break the cable, or you can break the cluster, or more likely what you'll break is where the prindle cable is anchored onto the steering column. So I guess that's about it for this year. I know this is a 2000 F150, but you'll find these in Expeditions, and I think all the way up to like 03 or 04 Heritage F150. So I guess that's about it.